In this lesson, we'll learn quick ways to calculate many percentages of quantities without a calculator. So what is a percentage? Well, a percentage is part of 100. 1% is 1 part out of 100 parts. That's the same as 100th. Another way to find 100th of something is to divide it by 100. Let's calculate 1% of 600. A quick way to divide by 100 is to move the decimal point 2 places backwards. Here's the decimal point in 600. We'll move the decimal point 2 places back to get the answer of 6. So 1% of 600 is 6. Let's calculate 1% of 420. 1% is 100th, or dividing by 100 by moving the decimal point 2 places backwards. Here's the decimal point in 420. We'll move that decimal point 2 places backwards to get the answer of 4.2. So 1% of 420 is 4.2. Now let's do 2% of 800. Well, 2% is 2 times as much as 1%. So we'll find 1% by dividing by 100 and then multiply it by 2. Here's the decimal point in 800. 1% is to move the decimal point back 2 places. That's 8. Then we multiply 8 by 2. That's 16. So 2% of 800 is 16. Let's do 3% of 520. Well, 3% is 3 times 1%. So we'll find 1% and then multiply it by 3. Here's the decimal point in 520. 1% is to move that decimal point back 2 places. That's 5.2. Then multiply this by 3. 5.2 multiplied by 3 is 15.6. So 3% of 520 is 15.6. So what's 10%? Well, 10% is 10 parts out of 100 parts and is equal to 1/10. 1/10 is the same as dividing by 10 or moving the decimal point 1 place backwards. Let's calculate 10% of 60. Here's the decimal point in 60. To divide by 10, we move the decimal point 1 place backwards. So 10% of 60 is 6. Let's do 10% of 43. Again, we divide by 10 by moving the decimal point 1 place backwards. So 10% of 43 is 4.3. Let's calculate 20% of 60. That's twice 10% of 60. First, we'll find 10% by dividing by 10 or moving the decimal point 1 place backwards, and then we'll multiply it by 2. The answer's 12. Let's find 5% of 60. 5% is half of 10% of 60. Again, we'll move the decimal point 1 place backwards and then divide by 2. The answer is 3.